All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Lauletta, he'll look to throw. It's caught. Shepard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry for Barkley. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Back to throw, Lauletta. And this one's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. All
right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air, Lauletta on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Lauletta back to the air. He finds Beckham, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll try and run forward Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now here's Lauletta. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Over!
Here's Lauletta. Hard throw, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now it's Lauletta. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Hey, here we go. 26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
There we go. Kill. 26.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here we go. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here we go. 26.
Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Detroit!
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
A shotgun snap to Lauletta. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Going up top. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Taken in at the 11. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Hey, here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Lauletta looking for a first down throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Lauletta to throw. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Leopard! Leopard! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hut!
It's Lauletta off play action. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. David Irving. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, Lauletta. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll fake the handoff. Now Lauletta. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... He's got a man, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On 1st and 10, Lauletta. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To the air yet again, Lauletta. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll fake it. Now Lauletta. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
A first down throw for Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
They go play action here on first down. Steps away. Oh, Prescott stripped. And who's got it? The Giants. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhymed with skill.
Come on, man.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Here's Lawletta. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Third and 2, Lawletta. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run with Elliott. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Cowboys on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Prescott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Suckup will put this one right through. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott from the gun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taking it about the 16. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They have the lead here Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Loletta on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Loletta again here on 2nd and 10. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the red zone now, Loletta. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Bucky Hodges, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Prescott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
46. We got three, fellas. There we go. 48. Check 48 to Mike. Check.
10th carry now for Elliott. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on third. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That's his 14th interception on the season, and that number 14 ties the NFL single-season record.
Held by Dick Night Train Lane. Was that 1952?
52, more than a half-century ago.
And he's with the Rams that season, and believe it or not, it was his rookie year.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Leopard! Leopard!
Here's a give to Barkley. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Lauletta looking to throw on second down. That's complete right around the 8. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. A shotgun snap to Lauletta. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. From the gun, here's Lauletta. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They go to Elliott again. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Lauletta. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Lauletta on first down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Lauletta now on second. Got an open man. It's Ratliff. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. A handoff, Barkley running left. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Back to the air, Lauletta on second down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Giants on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Lauletta. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Here we go, 46. 46.
Throwing. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Here we go, 48.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Dodges him at the 50. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 18. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Here's Loletta. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Elliott. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Here we go. Wide, ain't it?
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go. Wide, ain't it?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They'll run it again with Barkley. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Second down, Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll go to Barkley again. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season.